Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm Karen Wyman, coming to you from higher ground on Ladies Island. I'm joined by the one and only Jonathan Haupt. How are you, Jonathan?
Doing very well. It's good to be back.
Yeah, here to talk about all things Pat Conroy and the Pat Conroy Literary Center.
That's right.
So I'm going to try not to get tongue-tied on this one. We've gone back and forth, but you're here this afternoon to talk about the third annual March 4th, which happens to be taking place this year on March 3rd.
You got it.
I got it.
Perfect.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you. So, how did the Conroy Center annual March 4th event become?
Sure. Well, March 4th is the anniversary of the day that Pat Conroy died. And while it would be very easy to sort of turn that into a day of mourning, we don't think that that's really the spirit of Pat Conroy. So we decided to commemorate the anniversary as a day of learning and fellowship and community.
Which Pat was all about.
Absolutely. And we took advantage of what we've come to think of as Pat's last act as a teacher, his burial site on St. Helena Island, just beyond PENN Center. We think he really thought that his readers would be coming to see him, and you can't get out to the gravesite without going through PENN Center and learning something about that history too. So this is something that we developed in partnership
Slightly
with
intentional.
PENN. Oh, I think definitely. Well, Pat was not known for his subtlety, so yeah, definitely intentional.
So who are some of this year's presenters? Because we always know that you guys put together just an amazing lineup of authors, speakers, presenters in order on every event that you organize.
Absolutely, and March 4th really is just such a special event for such an emotionally loaded day that we were very careful about who we select to bring out for that. We want it to be about education, we want it to be about social justice, and we want it to be about the environment. So we always start off with a nature walk of the property, and this year Chris Marsh and Bob Spear are going to lead that for us, two fantastic master naturalists. And then our keynote, which we'll do during the lunch event, is going to be a group of us who've participated in a book called Our Prince of Scribes. Writers remember Pat Conroy, of which I'm one member, but Pat's widow, Cassandra King Conroy, will be there, Pat's brother, Tim. Valerie Sayers, who was one of Pat's students at Beaufort High, now an accomplished novelist. Sally Ann Robinson's coming from Defusky Island, one of Pat's students from out there. And also Ellen Malfris, who is a USCB writer in residence. But our big draw is Nick Stone, who's a New York Times best-selling young adult novelist, although her books are for adults as well. And she's written a book called Dear Martin, which is about a young person in contemporary Atlanta who gets racially profiled and then starts sort of keeping journal entries or writing letters to Dr. King to try and live out his teachings in our modern world. And it goes about as well as you would expect it to do.
Right?
Yes.
So, but Nick Stone is also going to be here on March the 4th, the day after Pat's March 4th, and I'm going to be visiting students at Beaufort High School.
That's right. That's sort of the new addition this year, is that we're in partnership with Beaufort High, where Pat had been a student and where Pat had been a teacher. And right now, all 1,300 students at Beaufort High are reading Dear Martin, and Nick is going to come speak to an all-school assembly at that school.
So now I'm going to go home and make sure both of my high schoolers are reading that book, Jonathan.
I hope they are,
I
hope they're enjoying it. We've heard such great feedback.
I'm going to learn a little bit more, yeah. They've been kind of quiet on that front. But we want people to get to March 4th on March the 3rd. So what about admission? How much is it? What does it include for those people interested in participating?
Well, we have fantastic donors for this, which helps keep the price point very low. So it's $22 for all-day admission.
That's a bargain.
And then it is, absolutely, for the level of programming that we're offering. And then we have lunches available, thanks to Debbie Covington, who's been our caterer for this for years. So those options are available too for an additional $18. So $40 all-inclusive if you're having lunch.
Right, it's a great event. And how can viewers find out more about registering for this event? I know obviously we'll have some information leading us to the Pat Conroy Literary Center. Easiest way for people to register and buy their tickets?
Absolute easiest way to do it is to go to our website, to the events calendar, or to our Facebook page and the events calendar, and that'll lead you straight to the ticketing site.
Awesome. What else is happening at the Pat Conroy Literary Center? You guys always have something going on. You'll never rust, that's for sure.
That's absolutely true. We're so excited to be the top-rated attraction in Beaufort, according to TripAdvisor right now. In a city filled with museums and cultural institutions, we've risen in the ranks.
Congratulations.
Thank you, because of what our docents are able to do at the center. So we love it when people come see us, and as you know, we're open Thursdays through Sundays from noon to 4 p.m.
And we want to let people know that you're in the new location.
That's right.
On Port Republic Street.
Yep, 905 Port Republic now. We have about 3 times as much space as we did when we started out. So anybody who saw us early on and hasn't come back, now is a wonderful time to do that.
You guys just amaze me with everything that you do, your amount of energy and your incredible, as they say, love for Pat. So thank you, Jonathan.
My pleasure.
That wraps up this edition of North of the Broad. Hope to see you next time.